And it's so exciting that it's finally here because, we've been working on this for months and we're so excited. And it's like our ideas and our full collection has come together and now people get to see it and enjoy it. And we get to be a part of their special moments. Welcome to Life Unleashed,
the podcast all about creating the best life for you and your furry best friend.
If you're a dog mom on the go, juggling life, work, and the endless joys of being a dog parent, then you're in the right place. I'm Dani.
And I'm Nick.
And together with the incredible dog mom community from Tails Up Pup, we're here to share advice, stories, and the obsession we have over the love for our dogs.
Get ready to laugh, learn, and lean on each other because life with your dog just got even more awesome.
Today is the launch of our Christmas collection, so I thought it would be fun to recap all of the things that we have to do leading up to our Christmas launch as small business owners, how we got here and had our collection ready to launch, and things that we've learned over the years that really help us have a successful Christmas launch. Because as we know, for businesses, Christmas is the best time of year. Sales are high. People are willing to spend money on gifts and just things for themselves. The spirits are high. People are so excited for all the festivities, and we want to make the best of our collection so that we can make the most amount of money. And especially going into the new year when sales slow down, you have to make a lot of money in the Christmas season if you can. So let's recap.
Before we started Tails Up Pup, I really was in the dark about how long ahead of time businesses have to plan for things like Christmas. I really thought, I guess I just didn't really think about it. You just, it all comes out and it's like, oh yeah, Christmas stuff is out now. But these decisions were being made many, many months in advance.
And for us, we make a lot of our products in-house. So we have the ability to not have to produce things as far in advance. I know businesses that produce clothing and things like that have to prep almost an entire year in advance. We are not like that. We just have to do a few months in advance and still it feels crazy to us. But we are lucky to not have to be as far ahead as some other businesses.
Yeah, we're typically doing our biggest prep, I would say, in the summer months, which is really funny because that's the anti of Christmas. It's hot and
it's so hard to be in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, you're like, how am I thinking about Christmas stuff right now? But that's really when I'd say June and July is when we're really making our biggest Christmas decisions probably.
The thing that takes the longest are things that are overseas. So if we want to produce a new walk bag strap or a new lick mat color, things like that we buy from overseas, we have to prep the most in advance because of the turnaround time and the shipping time to get to us and make sure that it's here in time, especially if you're doing samples and things like that. That can take a lot of time. But for us, we don't do a ton of those things. So for Christmas, we don't have anything in this collection of that realm. So the second thing that takes the longest is our dog bandana patterns, because now we like to produce our own exclusive patterns. So what that looks like for us is brainstorming ideas. Now we have done Christmas patterns that are exclusive for 2 years. So this will be our 3rd year.
Can you believe it's been 3 years?
And that is when we started our exclusive patterns, I think.
Was it Christmas time?
Around Christmas time 3 years ago.
That was something that we wanted to do pretty much from day one, but obviously there's a lot that you're going to hear that goes into doing that, but it's crazy 3 years.
So step 1 is looking at now what patterns we already have that we're bringing back, or if we're not bringing back, why did it not sell well and what do we not want to have in our collection, and then coming up with the new pattern ideas that we want. And typically I have a ton of ideas on a sheet of paper and then we have to pick the few that we want. And so this year we chose to do 5 because we already have 2 full years worth of items that we are bringing back. So our collection will be quite big this year because we spent the time and money to create those designs. And if they sold well and people enjoyed them, we want to bring them back. But we also always want to have new patterns as well for people who already have shopped those collections and want something new. So this year we decided to bring 5 new exclusive Tails Up Pup patterns. And so they are my ideas or our ideas if we are coming up with them together. And we are having an artist design them for us. So step 1 is coming up with the ideas. And then I go onto Pinterest and I come up with some graphic images of things that I like. So I might be searching for color palettes. I might be searching for clip art. I might be looking at wallpapers. different types of things that have designs that I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for Christmas nutcrackers, that's probably what I'm searching for, and looking for nutcracker styles that I like or colors that I like. And then I'm pulling all of those things from Pinterest and putting them on a kind of like a mood board. And that is what I send to my artists. So I'm saying I want nutcrackers and other Christmas items in a ivory color, and here are some of the things that I like. And then she takes my mood board and turns it into the beautiful masterpiece of a graphic design on Illustrator. She creates the most magical pieces, and very rarely do I even have to change anything. Like, she just really brings my vision to life, and that's why I like working with her, because we don't have to go back and forth a lot. She really just takes it, runs with it, and creates something that I love instantly. And so then we take the design that she sends over, which sometimes it can take 1 to 2 months for her to get them back to us. It really just depends on what she has going on. So you have to plan that time in. And then we send them to the fabric designer or fabric printer, and we almost always have to do test swatches because we want to make sure the colors print right, that everything, the sizing looks right, all that stuff. So we do swatches, which that takes time to get. And then once we get them and we finalize everything looks good, then we have to order our fabric in bulk. And so we typically try to do that about a month in advance. And we will let some of our brand reps buy early if they want to take photos for us. And it's nice to have different dogs and different patterns for the launch so people can see, different things. And we let them shop, and then we create all of our medium bandanas for Gracie. And then we have to set the whole scene and photograph them.
Yeah, our house is typically decorated for Christmas in September.
Yes, because our collection always launches in the first week of October. So this year I had to decide, was it going to be October 3rd or 10th? And I went with the 10th because the 3rd seemed a little bit too early. And I don't know, we were going to be ready fully by the 10th. So it just felt like that was what was right. And this year we prepped the least because of Callan's birth and everything. Like last year I looked and we ordered our fabric in July. And so we were way more ahead last year than we are this year. But we're still going to be fine. So it's okay. But we will not have any of the bandanas pre-made of the new patterns. So sometimes we try to pre-make some because Christmas can get really crazy. And this year we won't have any pre-made before the launch.
So a ton of steps to have to happen. I mean, that's really a 3 to 4 month process from like beginning to like ready to launch.
And that is just for the bandanas. So then we like to have some other items as well. So like this year we are doing ornaments. I think always have offered ornaments. I actually remember the first ornament that we created the first year we were in business. So we always like to do some type of dog ornament. And last year we did photo ornaments with our sublimation machine. This year we might bring those back eventually if there's like requests, but I currently am not planning to bring them back because we have a new ornament design idea. So my friend Brittany at Zally Designs, am I saying that right? I always say it wrong. I think it's Zally and I say Zally. She has a engraving machine. So she had these really cute ornaments and she posted about them. And I was like, wait, I would love to have those in our collection. We've never done an engraved ornament like that. We did bone engraved ornaments before, but this one's different. And so we're working with another small business. So that's really cool because when you buy the ornament from us, you actually are supporting 3 small businesses because someone cut those ornaments for her, then she engraved them, and then you're buying it from us. So that's really cool. We're able to offer ornaments, and then we also always love to do embroidered stockings. And so this year I wanted to bring some new stockings because we brought the same ones, I think, for 2 years in a row. And I ordered new ones and they were absolutely atrocious. So that's also a perk of buying early, is you get to make sure that everything is good quality.
Yeah, the photos looked good online, but when the product showed up, it was not good.
It was so bad. So those had to be returned and shipped back, which luckily I could do that. And I did end up buying the same stockings that we did last year, but the only one that's returning is the solid red. We've never done green or ivory. And so really it is a new look. We've done checkered in the knit stockings and we've done red, but now we're bringing red, green, and ivory. And so I'm excited about that. And then we are officially like also offering them as humans as well, because personally I would love my mantle to have the dogs and humans match. And so I'm pretty sure in the past we've only ever offered with bones or paws, and so like if you're a human you'd have to custom order it, but now I am offering them without those, simply on the website, so you can have your whole mantle match.
Yeah, you're really a matching, like the aesthetic has to be like uniform for you.
Yeah, I don't like all the mix match stuff.
I do.
If it's all going to be mixed matched, maybe I could, I don't know. Yeah, I really like things to match. And symmetry, I like all of that. And then, of course, we have our embroidered items. So now we have lots of, past collections of items that we know we like to bring back. But then this year, especially, I feel like in fall, I didn't have many new designs because of Callan's birth. And so I really wanted to make sure we have some new designs for the Christmas collection. And so I started that in probably August, designing new items to bring. And so I'm very glad I did that, because it does take time to design them and then, embroider them, photograph them, and all of that stuff. So very glad that I did that in advance. And I think some of the things turned out I think everything turned out cute, but I think some things will hopefully sell really well. And yeah, I just feel like everything, it's just crazy how far in advance you have to work to make sure the whole collection comes together in time. The number one question, why do we launch our collection so early? And we are a big part of people's Christmas photos, and photographers typically take those at the end of October or the first weekend in November so that people can have them back in time, because most people like to ship their cards right after Thanksgiving, which is the end of November. And so you have to have the turnaround time for photos and ordering Christmas cards. So people have to take their photos earlier. So because we are such a big part of people's photos, we have to then launch earlier than that.
And we're a handmade business. So there's a little bit longer of a processing time depending on how busy we are. So we have to be, have plenty of time for the order to come in, for us to make the items, to send it out, for them to get it in time for their photos, for their photos to be taken, and the photographer to turn them around in time to send the card out.
So it really isn't that early when you think about all of the steps that these bandanas or embroidered items are going into in people's lives. And like the stockings is a little bit of something that is early because people aren't decorating their homes yet, which is why we hold those for a second launch, because they don't need to be launched on October 10th. People aren't decorating yet, and we like to spread out our arrivals if we can. So that's something that can have its own launch. And same thing with ornaments too. Like in the past, we've launched those separately, and if people don't need them right away, then sometimes it's nice to spread them out so that people can spend their money not all at once. Because like if your bill was going to be $200, it might be easier for it to be like, 100 and 100 or something like that.
One thing that I wanted to talk about with embroidery too, that's very cool. Because we're having so many of our bandana designs are basically all exclusive. And so there's different, pieces on there. Like Danielle talked about the nutcrackers. So the nutcrackers there, maybe there's a cup of coffee on there. Maybe there's a candy cane. We actually, because it's all coming through like on a digital file, we can take those designs and digitize them for our embroidery. So while it's getting, maybe printed on a bandana fabric with all of those different things on there, we could take the nutcracker and make a cool nutcracker design for an embroidered item, or we could do it with the coffee, or we could do it with gingerbread. So that's kind of like, then we're getting custom embroidered pieces that are our designs and artwork, on an embroidered item, not just the bandana fabric, which is a really cool thing.
We definitely don't have as many of those as generic ones, because the generic ones are cheaper to create and easier and faster to create, but we do like to incorporate some exclusive ones. And I think as we grow and, over time, we will have even more exclusive ones, which are really cool. So yeah, I think that having the exclusive ones are really neat, because no other shop will have those, where like something that says Merry & Bright that I bought on Etsy as the design, anyone can have that. So, they might be able to find it in a different shop.
Right. We can always, we own the artwork, so we can always go back and, mix and match and do whatever we want.
We also really debated on where we were going to take our photos this year, because in the past we've done the studio, which I think it makes it super easy because it's all in one spot. We're able to get there, decorate, take all of our photos. It looks really bright and clear and clean. But this year I did a poll on Instagram stories, and like 90% of people said they like the ones at home better. And so we were going to do the ones at home this year anyways because of how our life has played out. But it was very interesting to know, like, maybe I wouldn't go back to the studio again because people like to see the product how they would have it. And most people don't have a home that looks like a studio. And so they want to see it how, their Christmas card might be. And you can easily just take a bench from your house and put it on your porch and, photograph your whole family or just your dog. And so when you're using a product and you might want even inspiration on how you might photograph it, that was very interesting to see that people enjoyed that better.
Yeah, I feel like if you just thought about it, you'd be like, oh, people want to see it like in the, like how big companies, they do like whole, big crazy photo shoots for their products. And you would think that like, oh, that's definitely what we should try to do. But that's not necessarily what the people want. They want more of the candid lifestyle.
Something else that takes time that people don't think about is the back end of all these products. So we use Shopify. So every product has to have its own listing made, and we have to make sure it has all the right variants. So our bandanas that are going to have tie on and slip on, extra, extra small through extra large, are they going to have seams added? Are they going to be allowed to add their dog's name on it? And then making sure that the photos are on the right. Well, we have to come up with a name for the pattern. We have to have the photo for it. We have to have the description for it. And so making sure, and then you have to add SKUs. So that is like a way that you track these items. And that is how Nick knows which pattern and size to cut once the order comes through.
And we also have to add the inventory. And particularly when things aren't pre-made, it's basically we have a certain amount of yards of fabric that we've ordered, and so you have to pretty much guess how many sizes to put because they're not pre-made, that you're having to literally cut them out of fabric. So we have to do inventory for each item and all of that.
So we always have leftover inventory if it's something we're bringing back. And so we have that because you would either have sold out completely and not been able to keep selling, or you have stock and eventually you're going to have to carry it over for the next season. So we almost always have some stock of some things left. So Nick's job early on was to find all of the Christmas fabric that he has. So those might be on shelves, they might be in boxes, and then he has to bring it all out. We had to see what we had left, what we wanted to reorder, what we didn't want to reorder. So that was like a step very early on, especially when designing the new patterns, because we wanted to make sure we have a good variety of everything. And then, yes, he had to add the stock for that items, which we typically tag team. So he's physically looking and holding the fabric, and I have the computer, and he's telling me how many of each bandana to put in to the computer system, and then making sure that all that is right. All the pricing is right and everything looks good to go for the launch day. We have to put it all into a collection page and sort it the way that we want to sort it. I like to spread out my different types of items. So if a bandana coordinates with a sweatshirt, I like those to be next to each other on the collection page. And then we also have to create our emails. And so, you definitely need the launch email. This year we sent out one before the launch to say, hey, look what's coming. I haven't done that much. I did it one kind of recently and it did really well. Y'all really like to see the collection beforehand. So we're doing that again this year. And just creating all the content, the stories, like all of the ideas that we have that we want to promote, because we really want to promote this collection well so that people know what's going to be there, what they want to buy, and make sure that they choose our products for their Christmas cards or just for their dog to wear, maybe a sweatshirt for them, or maybe they want to gift it to someone. All those things. We want to be at the shop that they shop at, so we have to make sure we market it really well. And then always people have ideas or custom ideas that I really like, so we always end up adding things to the collection over the next month or two. And that's a fun part too, is that we are handmade, so we have the ability to create things on the go and add to the collection over time.
And some of the best selling ideas that we've had end up coming from custom designs that we've made,
which is so cool because it was someone else's idea that we were able to bring to life, and then other people wanted it too. I think one of the biggest things that we've learned in the embroidery aspect, which obviously we already knew in the bandana aspect is that people love customization. So we all have for a very long time offered names on the dog bandanas, but incorporating that more into the embroidery has been a huge hit. So, in the past we would have like the floral paw, but now allowing people to add their dog's name under the paw or allowing them to add their dog's name to a sleeve. People really love that aspect because it's what makes it different than being able to go buy it at Target when, like, obviously Target doesn't have that same exact design, but they might have a shirt that says Marion Bright, but it doesn't say Marion Bright with your dog on it or something customized to you.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, from the beginning, that's kind of been what separates us from like a big box store. You had the ability to customize and personalize things, which is the part that we like some of the most because they're truly unique items.
Overall, for planning for a big collection like this, I think it's the thought, the time, and the money that goes in so in advance that leads up to this big day. And it's so exciting that it's finally here because, we've been working on this for months and we're so excited. And it's like our ideas and our full collection has come together and now people get to see it and enjoy it. And we get to be a part of their special moments because these Christmas cards live on for a lot of people because it's the photo that they have of their family. Maybe they only get one for the entire year. And so the fact that we get to be a part of that is really special and cool. And I feel like that is definitely one of my favorite parts of owning this business.
Yeah, we've always loved the moments that we get to be, even if it's just a bandana and a Christmas card. That's like the highlight for us. And I mean, typically the most of those are like weddings or Christmas stuff, like Christmas cards. And so like this is the 4th or 5th year that we've like really asked people to send us their Christmas cards. Every year we put them up on the wall and then we keep them after like in a binder clip. And like that's just like one of the coolest things to look back on and see like how people have used embroidered items and bandanas in their Christmas cards. And it's just like they really does live on.
It's always interesting to me too to see which patterns people choose for their Christmas card versus like their dog going to see Santa. Because personally, I always think that a funny or like a cutesy one would go with the Santa and like a more sophisticated one would go for a family photo. But that is not the case for a lot of people. And a lot of people switch it up and have different preferences, which is so fun to see how people pull their personality, whether it's their personality or their dog's personality, into these photos and really make it unique to them.
And one thing that this is getting more and more every year, we have the most patterns in any collection for our Christmas collection.
Yeah.
And so like there is a massive variety that people get to choose from. And I feel like that's another thing that's unique about us as a business is like if you look at other, big stores, their variety may be more limited. They might have, 5 or 6 different patterns. And we have I think it was 42 I counted. I don't know what the final count is going to be, but like that's a lot of designs to choose from.
That is crazy.
There's something for everyone, truly. And the thing is, you would think that like only like the most popular designs would be like 99% of the people are buying like these top 5 designs. And while we typically have 5 or 6 that ended up outperforming the other ones, if you look at the list when I'm cutting bandanas, like there are always so many. This is like all times of the year, tons of different patterns because we have a big selection for people because depending on like what you're going for, we have an option for you, which is cool.
I think this year is probably the most like nerve-wracking year for us because 2024 has been the most unique and unexpected with, sales and how people are choosing to spend their money. And so we have no idea what to expect for this holiday season, but we are really leaning on the fact that people really enjoy buying gifts for other people and having this fun, festive time of year. And so we're really hoping that people shop small this year and really lean into that because we got to keep the small businesses moving and grooving. And a lot of us have been affected this year. So we're just really hoping that everyone gets in the Christmas spirit and chooses to shop small.
Every single year, because Christmas is like the season, that holiday that we spend the most money on for in advance, I'm always nervous like no one's going to show up and buy. I have that same feeling every single year. And hopefully, and we've never been every time people show up and buy, but that doesn't mean that it's still not stressful.
Yeah, it is stressful because like we have spent money, we have worked really hard, and we're really excited, and we hope that other people like it as much as us, but you truly never know until it happens and the launch is here.
Which it is.
Merry Christmas in October.
And we also do a big like Christmas. We used to go live all the time for all of our launches, but I feel like the Christmas launch always we have like a bigger launch party,
which is going to be interesting with a baby. This will be our first live Instagram live with a baby, so hopefully he cooperates.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Maybe he'll be napping.
Maybe he needs a Santa hat.
That would be so cute.
That would be really cute. Thank you guys for listening. I hope this was interesting to hear how our collection comes about and comes to life. And I hope that you guys are excited to shop tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The collection will be live on tailsupHub.com and you'll be able to join us on Instagram Live. And I hope you guys are excited.
Happy shopping.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.